3, 2, 1, and go. Hey everyone, welcome back to Minus Cast, episode 11. Today I have Nathaniel Bandy, Touch Bit Gaming, Nico, and myself, Swankybox. And today we're going to be talking about old websites that have disappeared, websites that we used to check out years and years ago, that once were popular places on the internet, and now they're ghost towns or no longer out there. Starting off, Screw Attack.
Yeah, Screw Attack, definitely one of the best places to start. I think what's kind of cool about like the age that we're at is that we're in a position where we didn't experience the internet, then we did, but it was like split up everywhere, and now we're in a place where like all the video is like all in one place, all on YouTube. So Screw Attack was one of those video websites you would go on to watch gaming stuff, because YouTube wasn't that popular back then. There was game trailers, Screw Attack, Cinemassacre, and then of course YouTube. But like, yeah, Screw Attack was fun because it was just like a really nice site to go to. Like, that's actually what inspired me to make top 10s. I would watch the ones that Craig would make. It was, I think, Stuttering Craig and Handsome Tom. They made them to start.
Yeah.
And I freaking loved them. They were so good. I don't know what it was. They were just like really funny to watch. And yeah, Screw Attack is unfortunately a thing of the past. The company went out of business. Well, they like dropped the name like a year or two ago. They just changed it to Death Battle. But yeah, I loved that website so much. That's how we discovered AVGN.
Circa what year was this? I feel like I'm too young for Screw Attack. I don't know. I personally, I don't think I've watched it when I was younger.
I watched it a lot in like middle school and then like the first couple years of high school. But then after that, Screw Attack just started putting all their stuff on YouTube, so there was like no point to go to the website.
So I remember watching it on YouTube, but I don't remember distinctly going to a game or a Screw Attack website. Because I remember like the number 9, like the
number 9.
Like this. Yeah, I remember the sounds, like the countdown sounds, but I don't remember watching the videos on their own website. So I feel like that was before I was watching videos on YouTube, I guess.
Well, I'm on the Wikipedia thing, and apparently it was founded in 2006. So, because I remember watching Screw Attack on the website like every single day, because they had like full 7-day schedule. They were the first website like about gaming stuff that were posting every single day, and I remember tuning in every day because, man, I love the top 10s. I love everything they do. They had this show called Random Awesomeness, and it was literally random, like whatever they had on their mind that week they did. It was so stupid, but it was so amazing.
Like invented bagged
they
milk.
were always coming out with like new stuff too. Like every year or two they had a brand new show, and it was just really neat just like tuning in to see what they did.
Yeah,
I feel like my time with Screw Attack was like later down the line, honestly, like after 2010, probably, I don't know, 2011, 2012 and going forward. So probably the end of its life cycle. Because I guess my affinity with it was watching, Game Theorists and like Trailer Drake and
That's
and
right.
those
Yeah,
guys.
Game Theory started on Screw Attack. I forgot about that.
I was just saying, I think the Completionist was also on Screw Attack before becoming his own YouTube thing.
Yeah,
There's a lot of like
YouTubers
big
started
names
on Screw Attack.
Exactly, yeah.
But wasn't Pro Jared like a big contributor at some point?
He was like a part.
The main dude.
Yeah, he was a part of Screw Attack. Like, he was the one helping make videos. He wasn't just like a third party like AVGN. He was actually a part of their whole crew. But he ended up branching off and making his own thing.
Yeah, exactly. He was the host of Hard News, which was their like daily, weekly news thingy, whatever. So yeah, he was like very important to Screw Attack.
Yeah, he was like the favorite back then. Everyone loved Pro Jared. No, he was definitely the funniest one, I would say, out of all those guys. I know it sounds so weird to say, but these were the first guys to like actually do this. There was no such thing as gaming top 10s. There was no such thing as gaming news. There was no such thing as like gaming battles, like Death Battle. They kind of created the whole versus thing. And it's really weird to just like think like just this random website kind of started all of that. And now it's super common all over the place.
I think a place that I went to a lot pre-YouTube, before I discovered YouTube and everything had to offer, was Newgrounds. I was on Newgrounds a lot sometimes. For a lot of the Flash animations. There's a guy named Legendary Frog who made some really cool Flash animations I used to watch when I was younger. Also, I can't remember the person who made it, but there's this person who redid the scene from The Matrix 2 where it's that big fight, but it's like the Super Mario World sprites.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
So good. That's like 2007. That's like Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Period.
I remember there was a spoof of I think it was Scarface. It was like Super Mario. What's it called?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like Super
Mario Bros. Z.
No, I remember that too. That was awesome. That
just came back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just really quick, that guy's remaking the entire series. Like, he's redoing all the sprites and stuff. He's gonna make it look a lot better. It's super sick.
Oh, it was Super Mafia Bros. That's what it was. I remember it now. There's like Super Mafia Bros. 1 and 2, and it was super vulgar. I remember watching it in like elementary school. I was like grade probably 5 or 6, and we were just like watching it during like computer lab time, and we were just like giggling because like they were like swearing and stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I remember it pretty vividly. It was pretty gory as well as far as sprite animations go.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Do you guys ever watch the stick fights, the Chow Chow series?
Yes. Maybe not the exact same one you're talking about, but I do remember there was that program where a lot of people made videos with.
There was like 4 or 5 of them. They were only like 3 or 4 minutes long, but they were like really well done animations.
I used to watch.
I think the program was called Pivot.
Madness Combat was another Flash series I remember that just had like tons of spin-offs. There was just like stick figures fighting and killing each other with like swords and stuff. So how about outside of like the websites we're bringing up right now? A lot of those are video centric. Were there any types of websites that you went to frequently as a kid? I think a lot of us. We could talk about Neopets. We don't talk about it right now, but I know it's going to come up. But like, were there any other sites that you consistently went to before like wikis and all these different things were, I guess, established for like your favorite games?
Miniclip.com and addictinggames.com. So I would just play like random stuff on there. I remember playing the buddy game. It was called
Interactive Buddy.
Yeah, Interactive Buddy, and you would just like blow the crap out of him. It was like super funny.
That game got me into Napoleon Dynamite because he was like one of the costumes you could unlock for him.
They had like they had like George Bush or something as well.
I think they had George Bush and the guy he was running against. I think it was Al Gore. I don't know if it was Al Gore, but yeah, some presidential dude.
Remember. Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't know who they were. But yeah, Napoleon Dynamite, like he would say quotes from the movie, and I was like, this is so funny. He'd be like, "Oh, idiot!" Like when you're throwing like rockets at him.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
There was like so much you could unlock, and you would unlock more weapons by just beating up the buddy more. So
you
like
just got money.
You're incentivized. Exactly. You're incentivized to just keep trying out all this new stuff, and by the end, you had like nukes. You had like medieval
literal babies.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Literal babies. You can just throw babies. There's like motion sensor bombs. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was such a good game. Oh man, there were a lot of good games on Miniclip.
Yeah, I don't know if Miniclip had that one, but Miniclip had loads of new games or lots of good games on it.
I remember RuneScape used to be on Miniclip.
Oh really?
I think so. Like you'd have to like get the client. I hope I'm remembering it correctly, but I'm pretty sure like RuneScape, and there was another really popular game at the time where you didn't have to, but I think you could play them through Miniclip. Because I think that's how I was introduced to RuneScape.
I didn't actually.
Yeah, there was a lot of really like funny games. I just remember like again, this was like when I was like grade 5. There was like a game where it was just Saddam Hussein strapped to a chair, and you just like beat him up for like 3 minutes, and that was the game. It was just like such stupid games.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah,
there's I found back when I was doing some Swanky Zone stuff earlier this year before Mario, or earlier last year before Mario Maker, like Mario games, like all these really like bootleg sites that just like are like giant trash pits of the old Mario Flash games. Like there's some really, really good stuff on there, if I must say so myself. Mario's milk bottle. Anyone?
Mario's bag of milk?
Yeah, Mario's bag of milk. No. See, I don't feel like I played any like bad Mario rip-off games back in the day. I remember playing a few good ones. Like there was one, it was like a bunch of Super Mario World sprites, and they were like it was like a castle defender game. They were like flying towards the castle. You'd have to like shoot them out of the sky. That was a pretty fun game. But yeah, I don't remember like. And again, I think most of these were on Newgrounds, so I think they must have some sort of filter, or must have just played the highest reviewed ones. But I don't really remember like any necessarily bad like knockoffs.
Yeah, I don't really remember any bad ones either. Be honest. Well, we probably just suppressed them from our memories since it's been so long since we've even played a Flash game. Like, I remember playing this game called Tanks, and like it was super basic. Basically, there was 4 players. This was multiplayer. You'd take turns, and you'd be on like a desert or a snowy mountain, and you would take turns just aiming a cannon and trying to shoot out the other player. And it was like super strategic and
oh, I know what you're talking about.
It was like basic Worms, pretty much.
Yeah, it was Worms, except you used tanks. And like that game was so much fun. I would spend like literally hours playing that with friends.
I actually played something like that recently. Not recently, but like a few years ago in university. We were just like fart around and started playing these games in our free time. And it was a similar one. I think you played as like stick fighters in this one, but it was the same kind of idea. You like move around, you can aim attacks, you have to like lob them at the right trajectory and strength or whatever. But yeah, those were really good games as well. I'm trying to think what else actually I did play one really recently. I played it was a Miniclip game because I for some reason I was like I think Google Chrome gave me that notification where it's like Flash will be going away in 2020, disable it now. I'm like, no, I'm not going to disable it. I'm going to go play some Flash games right now. Yeah, so I went to Miniclip and I played I think it's Heli Attack 2.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, you pretty much just play as a dude and you shoot helicopters. that was the game. But I'm like, man, I remember this game really fondly. So I just went back to play it, and it was a good time.
Oh my god! I'm looking at this. This game was so fun.
Throw it up. Throw it up on the screen for context for people that are watching this.
Attack 2.
That game was so sick.
It was really cool.
That was so fun. I remember playing that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
what other games did you play, Nico? Like when you were in school or at home?
I don't know. I wasn't playing that many Flash games. I feel I was more like watching things on Newgrounds. So I was a fan of watching the Mario sprite videos and the Flash animation. I didn't play that many games, and I don't know why. Maybe my computer was just too bad. I don't remember, but yeah, there's not a lot of games I remember playing on Flash.
So outside of games, like actual playing games online, did you guys go to any websites for like console games, like maybe Mario games or Sonic games or Kirby or Zelda? Were there like any sort of sites you sought out for, I guess, fan bases?
I guess for me, like my first like forums website that I went to was like ytv.ca, which is like our Cartoon Network kind of thing in Canada. So it was like a really, really strictly moderated forum. Like they'd have to like they literally scanned everyone's posts because like it was such a family friendly website. So I'm like, this is kind of lame. So then I somehow found my way to the official Nintendo forums. If any of you guys remember the Insider forums, it was like there was literally forums on Nintendo's website. And it was really good forums from what I remember. Like it was really active. They had a bunch of like roles and perks you got as you posted more. Eventually that shut down. I don't remember the exact year. But as far as like gaming news, I guess I just stuck to like mostly Nintendo sites. I didn't really find anything outside of like a first party website until maybe like 2007 or 8 when I found a website called Boo Mansion. Very good forum. I don't think it's still around. I think it got the Zuck. It got shut down.
Is that the Luigi's Mansion hacking forum?
It wasn't a hacking forum. It was just a generic or general Mario forum. Like the theme was all about like Boo's Mansion, so that was like the theming. But like it had like a standard forum, but it also had like its own card game, which was really cool. Like you could like for the time, for like 2007 2008, like being able to like unbox like cards on a forum, and like they had like card battles and stuff. It was really crazy for the time. I didn't really understand it, but I was, I guess, not super young, but it was really cool anyway. That's what I'm trying to say.
There was a site called Kirby's Rainbow Resort that I went for Kirby games. There was the Mushroom Kingdom for Mario games. I think that's what it was called back then. Yeah, I believe it is. It's changed a lot though. Obviously, it's from the 90s. I used to do Enix before it became Square Enix. Used to have like forums dedicated to their games.
Hey fellas, just wanted to drop on by and say sorry I couldn't be in this cast, but I hope you're having a good one. Love you.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
What was I saying? You're looking up to
Enix.
Yeah, you're talking about Square.
I'm gonna backpedal.
What a coincidence for Char to come up during Square Enix.
So back before Square Enix became, Squaresoft and Enix fused, they used to have specifically forums dedicated to their early, PlayStation 1 RPGs and stuff like that. So like Dragon Quest and things like that, I would look up. That's where I went for my information, because at the time, GameFAQs had some guides. And they did have a lot of guides, but getting hands-on and kind of like having one-on-one conversations with people who were trying the same things, it made sense to go to the forums for that. And then one of those websites I used to go to all the time was vgmusic.com. Was a website where people would take like video game music, but they would convert it to MIDI versions. And that was a big deal back in, in the 2000s and all that stuff, just because RPG Maker, anyone who was trying to, build games in RPG Maker, it took MIDIs. So I feel like a lot of people went to that website specifically for Nintendo themed tunes or tunes from their favorite games recreated so that they could then use them in their games that they were making.
Yeah, I never really went on forums, honestly. Like the only reading I ever did online was I would go to like GameFAQs to look up a guide. One time I remember I printed out a guide. I don't know why I did that, but I printed out like a 30-page text guide for Metroid Prime Hunters when I was like 12.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna try my best to do this. And I got through like half of the game. Eventually I got so tired of going back and forth between the text. But like there was no video guides back then. You had text. That's it.
Yeah.
Better figure it out with text. Or if you're lucky, your mom would buy a $20 guide at the library.
I have a lot of guides. I definitely did. I did do the printing thing once. I'm sure I have it still somewhere in my room. I printed out a Skulltula guide for Ocarina of Time, as well as like a walkthrough for Jabu Jabu's Belly.
You know what's funny about that? I literally just did that.
Oh.
I just got all 100 of those gold Skulltulas.
Oh man.
Not worth it.
Really not at all.
All right, pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only printed like 6 pages because I'm sure my parents would have like beat my ass. I printed like 30 pages of full ink, full color ink.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't think my parents like that I used that much ink on a guide.
Yeah, exactly. Back then the printers were super slow and like the ink was super expensive. So printing your 30 pages guide
It still is.
Yeah,
printers still don't work. You buy a printer and it lasts like 2 weeks.
I know.
And like you have to go on to like clean the little like ink things and then it still doesn't work.
I can just like hear the old printer sounds though. It was like it was like it was so slow. Like I had such an old one.
Slow. It was like maybe 2 minutes to print a single page when it was in color and like a minute in black and white.
It was especially bad that like I was wasting ink when I was younger because I lived in Norway and we had to import ink from America because we had an American printer. So it cost my parents even more money.
I remember like Windows 98 was like MS Paint, like trying to print off a drawing I did in MS Paint and like literally getting the sheet of like starting the printing process and getting it done, and then one picture drained almost the entire ink cartridge, and like the paper was like soaking wet because like you're a kid, you're like, oh, I want to a green yard, solid green, solid neon green, like I want to print it
solid green,
full quality.
I remember what I used to do. I used to print like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards because obviously like,
I did that a couple times.
I couldn't like obviously like I didn't have the money to buy all these cards myself. So I just like print like the Egyptian god cards from Yu-Gi-Oh, just a bunch of like Pokemon cards. Not only that, I also made my own like custom cards in Paint. I'm gonna see if I can find some. You guys talk. I think I might be able to find some.
Dude, so what's kind of funny about that is I don't remember why I asked my sister to do this, but she was really into drawing. I'm like, hey, can you draw every single Pokemon? So she spent like probably 2 months drawing like 30 of the Pokemon, and they were like fit inside cards, so they were like pretend Pokemon cards, and it was so cool seeing how much progress she made. But eventually she just got tired of it. She said, no, I'm not doing it anymore.
That's a hefty request.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see this
I wanted that, but it was
I can't wait to see this discount Obelisk the Tormentor.
This is gonna be sick. Yeah.
The epic
I only found one
card.
I know I have a full page of them somewhere, but I know I have one in here. Here's how Garbo here, I'll just take it out. Here's how Garbo the print quality was. And I'll put a real card for
just disintegrates in your hand.
So here's a real card size. Pretty standard card. And then here's my printed Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in full blue color. You guys, that's why you guys can't even see the.
I mean, that's it's like a tiny
extra blue version.
Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like hardly any detail. It's like blue and striped. Oh, it's so bad.
Oh my
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
That was probably printed in like
extra
2005.
blue.
Yeah, extra blue. But yeah, good times. But like me and my friends, we just made custom like Pokemon cards with like Mario characters, and we'd make like Goomba cards and like Fire Mario cards, give them attacks and stuff. Like
Fire
it was
energy,
fun.
Ice Ball energy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just kind of like found stuff to do, and I remember even making like a custom like a gachapon machine where like I made a box. I like cut out a hole. You like put a coin in. You like reach behind it to pick out like a random card. Kind of just made like random stupid things like that. But like I'm now thinking back, I'm like, man, as a 7-year-old or whatever I was, like it's pretty creative, I guess.
I feel like it was a lot of people just made their own cards just because they wanted to. And they're like, oh, this card doesn't exist, I'm gonna make it exist. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was at least for like the people that I met that made custom cards. That's why they did it, just because they wanted to do it.
I can't imagine like going to duel someone in Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh. You play Charizard and they play like Macho Man Randy Savage in attack mode.
Blue Eyes Ultimate Shrek.
Yeah, I remember like a kid in school trying to like people trade cards and trying to trade his like obviously printed cards for like real cards. I was like, how do it does not compute. What is going on?
It's real, bro. Trust me.
It's real.
Trust me, bro.
I promise.
It's just a little faded out. It's fine.
It's a little flimsy.
Yeah,
Kind of feels like regular paper. Were you guys allowed to have like Game Boys and stuff at your school?
We were not even allowed to trade Pokemon cards. Like they
No.
banned trading Pokemon cards at my
I remember
school.
that.
So.
Because like Pokemon got big when I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade, and after a few months, the teachers were like, "Stop bringing your cards. You guys are too distracted by them," which was true. Because like during recess, we wouldn't run around. We'd be trading Pokemon cards. That's all we would do. So I think at a point we could bring like Game Boys, but like they were banned really quickly.
Yeah, we were like pretty strictly regulated to like just having them during recess. But yeah, we didn't really have a problem with cards. I remember in elementary, but yeah, like whenever we have like an indoor recess, which is what happens when it's too cold outside, up here in Canada, like you could not play your Game Boy inside. It was weird. And like I don't know why my school did it, but like you couldn't just like sit in your class with like literally the whole school would walk laps around the school for like 15 minutes. And it was the stupidest thing.
So speaking of printouts and old nostalgic websites and Flash games, Neopets. Going back to Neopets, because I feel like Neopets was like, I don't know, like I felt like it was the first game I was instantly connected with people, obviously online, because you just had to have your computer to play, but you could actually sell things to your friends or message your friends, and it was actually pretty interactive for being a browser-based game that was all just random web pages.
What's amazing about Neopets is it's still up today. You can still download an account and you can still play, which is crazy.
I remember watching a video about how the Church of Scientology owned Neopets.
Oh,
What?
God.
Is that real?
For a while, yeah. I think it's real. I remember watching a YouTube video on it where they did like a whole documentary about how it happened.
Oh, my God.
And it was, yeah. So Tom Cruise owned Neopets at one point. Not really, but
Tom Cruise and John Travolta. Yeah, I remember making Neopets and I remember playing some of the mini games, but I never got super invested in it.
I remember my sister and our friend, when we were in Norway, we used to play it a lot, but like I just like you, I just played the games. I didn't actually try to raise the pet.
Yeah, like my computer time at home growing up was pretty limited, so I couldn't have the time to like go feed it every day or whatever you had to do. So I quickly kind of just like, I'm like, man, I can't really keep this up. Why kind of get invested in it? So I guess, yeah, at the same time, there was Neopets and RuneScape. I definitely like gravitated towards RuneScape. At the time, this was again like circa 2005, 2006 when I was playing this. So yeah, like I think again, I probably played it for like a week or two and then really quickly went back to RuneScape right after.
Yeah, I think when did you guys play Neopets? Like what time period?
Like just Norway, like ages
Like
8 to 10.
2004, 2005,
Like,
probably.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah. So like I think for us it was, yeah, for me it was a couple years earlier. Mine was like 2000 to 2003 or something. But yeah, I was the same thing. RuneScape came around and like I was like, hell yeah. RuneScape was so fun, and just like how it filled all the study halls in the school with like people just trying to, I don't know, lure people into the wilderness and kill them. Dude, it was so fun.
It was like a phenomenon. I remember like it was just like school. I guess I don't know if it was the same time. Probably same time for you. Like schools, like libraries were full of people just like logging in to play RuneScape at the library. Like it was a big phenomenon at the time.
Yeah, and then like then they had like the library started I mean, our library banned it. Like
really?
So did our school because I mean, you would have people who were like, oh, you know, they got to use the library for homework. You know, maybe they write their school paper.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there's like 10 kids there, reserving the computer all night for just RuneScape.
I had kids in my high school that would do that, but for emulators. And they actually banned emulators. So what some kids would do is they would put the whole thing on a USB drive, and when the teacher wasn't around, plug in the USB drive, play some Smash Bros or whatever they have, and that was really common too. Because like all the Flash sites by the time we were in high school were banned, so we couldn't really play them.
It's weird to think like how much more accessible computers have become just in the past like 15 years. I remember like around the same time, like again, just watching like cartoons on TV, they'd be like, oh, go visit our website to do this. I'm like, man, it's so cumbersome to like leave my TV, go to my parents' office, turn on the computer, go to the website to do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But now it's like, okay, go on your phone, 2 seconds later, you're on the website, you're done.
Pretty much.
Just like, it's such, and again, it's just more common. Like same thing. Like, I guess a lot of people were reserving time slots for the computer at the library because not everyone had a computer at home at the time. It was a lot less of a common thing. Now you can access the internet, your phone, laptop, computer, 3DS, whatever you got.
The Wii.
Yeah, you can. So accessible now. Yeah, the Wii.
I wonder if you can play Flash games on the Wii. Actually, that's something I used to do. Like when I had the Wii, I would go on random Flash websites and see which Wii games would work, and some of them actually worked. It was so cool.
There's I think Opera, wasn't that the browser or something similar to that on the Wii?
Opera?
Or Opera?
I just said Opera. I don't know. I don't know what's correct.
Let's
you
call
might be
it
definitely
Oprah.
correct.
Isn't it Oprah? Yeah.
Oprah
Winfrey's browser. Yeah. I think that's what the 3DS used.
I think Flash did work.
I think so.
Pretty sure it worked.
I think so, yeah.
I know you can play YouTube videos.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, for a while there, like when the Wii first came out, I actually logged into my Neopets on the Wii just to see, because I hadn't played in years. I was like, oh, this actually works on the Wii. This is really weird. Like navigating with the little remote. And then I logged off and never went back on. Ever.
Dude, Netflix worked on the Wii for like up until 2018 or something. It was a long time.
But you had to, at first you had to get a separate disc for it for the Wii.
That's right. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, at first you had to get a Netflix disc for your Wii. I think eventually down the road you could just download the app to your console standalone. Yeah. But when it first came out, you had to get a disc and put it in your Wii just to use Netflix. It was a good time. Also, so I don't know why I remember this, but we were talking about like Wii online. I know for some reason there was a separate website for watching YouTube videos called WeTube, which was kind of pointless because you could just watch YouTube, but I don't know why someone made a WeTube website where you could watch YouTube videos on it. It was weird. Yeah, I don't know I doubt it's still around. WeTube.com.
I think the only difference was that it's centered like the video, so it looked better for the Wii. I think.
Oh, maybe
that was the only difference.
Look better.
Wait, I don't know why I thought of that. I'm just like, why does that exist?
Yeah, that is true. Wasn't when you tried loading a video on the Wii, it was like in the top left corner, and it was kind of weirdly like a weird dimension.
Yeah, websites were hit and miss. Like sometimes it would load videos, and sometimes it wasn't or wouldn't.
I think in general, just a lot of websites were made for desktop. They weren't made for other platforms. Like even on when I had my iPod Touch, a lot of websites didn't have a mobile version back in the day. So it was just
so it'd be too small.
Not formatted.
No, I remember when iPods used to promote that you could zoom in on a web page, but it was like the desktop version. So it was like still super bad to try to read on it. That was before mobile versions existed.
Yeah.
Like looking back, that's such a dumb thing. Hey, you can zoom in now. And now you have to scroll scroll left and right to read the text.
But it was a new thing though, like using something other than your computer to browse a website. That was crazy.
That was
now
really cool.
It sounds stupid nowadays, but back then it was insane.
I just remember like a lot of websites. I remember this very vividly. Like pretty much every like Nintendo-based website I'd go to, on the sidebar there'd be like affiliates, and it'd just be like these bars of like 20 different websites that were like I guess friends of each other. And I just remember like it was just there was so many like I guess they're probably all shut down by now, but there was just such a diverse collection I guess of different Nintendo websites you could visit.
That's how I found the Mushroom Kingdom. Because I remember the little banner. It was like TMG, and it had like Mario's face, like a sprite of Mario's face. That was like on the Kirby website, and then there was like a Zelda one too, and like I could just hop around to the different games I had played to find websites dedicated to that specific series. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, because when we first brought up this concept, that's immediately what I thought of, was like those side banners.
That was like the thing to have. Oh yeah, here I got a screenshot if we want to throw it up. And it also includes Boo Mansion, which is the website I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right there. The TMK. Yeah, got Mario.
Yes.
Spriter's Resource, Mario Stadium. Oh, it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
classic.
Gosh.
So
That's
nostalgic.
amazing.
You
Yes.
guys remember the old Nintendo Wi-Fi connection? Like when it first came out, they'd have like leaderboards for Mario Kart DS, for Mario Metro Prime Hunters. It was just
I don't remember that, but I remember when I was in, I think like 5th or 6th grade, I discovered TAS videos, and I didn't realize this like wasn't like I didn't even know what TAS was, but I was looking at it was Smash Bros. Melee, and this is like after the game just came out. This is like 2 or 3 years afterwards, I think.
Oh wow.
So I was watching these insane home run contests of like Peach getting like 3,000 feet. Like all the characters were getting ridiculous times. I'm like, how are they doing this? The movement is so good, and I didn't know what TAS was. And later down the line, I learned that it was technically a computer that did it, and then you can put in like frame perfect inputs to make all that happen. But like discovering that back then was ridiculous.
Yeah, for me it was Super Mario Bros. It's like Super Mario Bros. World record beaten in like 5 minutes and 14 seconds or whatever. I'm like, what the hell? How can someone beat this game that fast? And they're like jumping, like I'm like, how is he touching the piranha and still like not dying? And I'm like, how is this possible?
What was that Mario Party? Was it Mario Party 6, the snowboard minigame?
Oh, the one you have
slalom
to.
one. Yeah. I think
Where you
it's
have the button combinations that makes you rotate. And I remember watching a TAS of Yoshi doing it, and it's like, you do it normal. You're like, oh yeah, I got 1080. It's like what, 3 revolutions or something like that, and like they do it. It's like never stops spinning. Like
Yeah, it just keeps
like
going.
Probably like
yeah.
it's like 7,000 or something. I was like, jeez. I guess old websites, coupled with old websites, I would say were like the old cereal box games, because they often, I felt like, took me to those old websites. Or like, hey, here's this free game, but also here's this internet provider.
here's a 3-month
AOL
sub to
used to-
AOL. Yeah.
Yeah. AOL used to mail those demo discs, and then you had like Bright Dog or Bright something. I don't know what it was called, but it came with like a series of games.
Dude, I loved AOL. What I would do every morning, I would turn on AOL, come downstairs, get breakfast, come back upstairs, and it just finishes loading. It was a routine. That's what I did every morning. Then I would look at news, then I'd play games for a couple hours.
Good old dial-up internet.
Oh yeah.
DSL's faster. Dial-up is like,
Okay, yeah, we had DSL then, because I remember, like one day my dad drilled a hole in my wall and it went like through the house. I'm like, why are you doing this? He's like, so you can have internet. I'm like, oh okay. I didn't really know what he meant. And then the DSL cable went into a router, and that's how I was able to get AOL and stuff.
back in like early 2000s, I used to play like Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube, and like you had cause I had 2 brothers, so we would rotate, and we pretty much would hog the phone line the entire night. And like no one could call our house because because no one's gonna, I mean, kids today probably may not even know what the tone sounded like, but it was like, I mean, maybe from commercials and stuff, but like it's just like this really ear piercing. Yeah. Like think of like someone trying to send a message to aliens in space, and that's what it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it sounded like.
There's a cool video on YouTube that explains what those sounds mean and what they do. Because this all has to do with like frequencies and whatever, and it's made audio, but like there's a like it sends a signal and it needs a response from the internet. It's really cool. Like it's really fascinating. That's how internet used to be, I guess, communicated back in the day. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure if you look up internet sound explained, I'm sure. Definitely recommend to watch.
Anyone have one last quick thing they want to cover in terms of?
I was just gonna bring up that I think there's still some sort of project that wants to keep Flash games alive.
Oh no, I've not heard of that. That's I would
Couldn't you
be
just use a
totally on board with
different
that though.
Or is it like all browsers that's gonna get rid of Flash?
I think Chrome's one of the last ones that still has it.
Oh wow.
I think,
Okay.
Well, could you? Could you create a virtual machine from that time period, and then just have Flash installed in the virtual machine and then run the game.
I'm not sure how that works.
Question mark.
I feel
Nico,
like
is that a
probably
question for you?
Yeah, I don't
website's
know.
literally called
Probably.
Flash Game Archive.
What do you use to play them? Oh, maybe you just download.
I think it's a
game?
standalone like client.
Did any of you guys ever go to the Odyssey of Hyrule?
I've never heard
If
of
you
it.
don't know what that is, that was like a very prolific rumor-based site for a lot of like weird Zelda content. That's where the big Triforce rumors came from when someone photoshopped those images. But that was like it's like probably like 97, 98, well, obviously after 98. But yeah, it was very interesting. And like a lot of that stuff only exists on archive.org. And there's like a lot of I'm trying to like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I know there's other sites I went to that were just like it for like Mario and stuff, but I honestly don't remember what they are anymore.
I remember one for Banjo and Kazooie. I remember it was like really similar to that, and it talked about like the stop and swap feature. And I think there was like a sub page where it talked about the ice cavern from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember there being a website I visited for Banjo and Kazooie.
Especially during that time period where like you didn't know what was coming in Banjo-Tooie yet. Like and you had those and all this stuff in the credits and yeah, I feel like it did the same thing, but I do not know.
Oh, and
if
there was
anyone's
definitely
watching this.
Well, I was just gonna say there's definitely one that I also visited for L is Real 2401. Again, same kind of thing. It would just like show a screenshot of the thing and show like a fake Luigi screenshot. Again, I don't know what these websites were called, but I distinctly remember them being like very old looking websites that had all these like these old school rumors in them.
It was such a good time. Anyone who's watching or listening, if the platform you're on right now has the ability for you to comment and you remember what some of these are, definitely share them in the comments because we would love to see them and check them out. But that about brings us to the end of this Minus Cast. If there's any websites that you also checked out as a kid, definitely pop them down below. We'll check them out because I think by combing through the replies, we'll definitely see some that we forgot. And
or just didn't know existed, which is really cool because like again, there was no central hub for websites back then. It was like all over the place. So I'm sure there's thousands of them that existed. There's just not that many people know about them.
That's true. With that, thank you so much for tuning in for Minus Cast episode 11, and we'll see all of you very soon. Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.